How pathetic of a father do you have to be to where you get on a public platform and disown your own children because they didn't live up to your idealistic fantasy?
There's been a lot of discussion online lately about how I talk about my family on social media. But now my family is being harassed online and accosted in public, apparently because some people can't handle seeing my happily ever after.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Dear Ashley Grace. If you have not already, please go ahead and like this video. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and make sure you press that post notification bell so you know when I post videos next. So recently, the R&B singer, Brian McKnight, has been in the news, but for all the wrong reasons. Now, if anybody is to blame for all of this information coming out, the only person there is to blame is yourself, Mr. Brian McKnight, because we wouldn't have known that you had these issues if you did not bring it to the public. Okay? Okay. So recently, people have been looking at Brian McKnight's social media and noticing that he hasn't been featuring his eldest children on his social media platforms, more specifically on Instagram. In fact, in his bio, he only mentions the children that he has with his current wife, which are not biologically his. The only children that he has with his current wife was one that he had recently. I believe it was last year. But other than that, they only have one child together, and the rest he claims as his own, but not listing his eldest children from his previous marriage and relationship. So everyone with a conscience could see how crazy that looks, because why aren't you acknowledging your blood children? Well, this goes back, right? This goes back to his previous relationships with his previous wife and the young lady that he had his daughter with. So from interviews, from posts, everything, Brian McKnight has stated that he was never truly in love with his first wife. And in fact, he never truly liked her. And the only person that he's ever liked is his current wife. So when you put that in perspective, when you have these children that's connected to that type of relationship, knowing that you genuinely did not see it for your previous wife, that bleeds in, I believe, to the relationship with the children, okay? Not necessarily in the beginning, but definitely probably as they got older, to where he could probably be more visible and vocal about it. On top of that, during his marriage to his first wife, he fathered a child outside of the marriage. And according to him, allegedly to him, he feels as though the mother of that child only had the baby for money. So there's another relationship tied to where he has disdain with that child's mother, which then bleeds into the relationship that he has with his daughter. So recently, Brian McKnight went on his social media platform and essentially was trying to dispel all of the rumors and all of the stories that had been coming out about him. And he tried to explain away why he doesn't have a relationship with his oldest children and why he doesn't mention them on his social media.
There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead, I post about the children with whom I do have relationships, with whom I am proud of, and about whom I want to share my pride in their accomplishments. Another thing a lot of people have been talking about is the lawsuit my adult daughter Brianna brought against me a few years ago. In 2020, my biological daughter Brianna sued me for defamation and breach of contract. And you will see that she did not ask for an apology or even ask that I remove the alleged false statement from the internet. All she asked for and all she wanted was money. And I agreed to pay Brianna some money, but here's the interesting part. She sued me for defamation and breach of $1 million life insurance policy, and I agreed to pay her $318,000 with no admission of any wrongdoing whatsoever. I did not defame her. I made no false statements. I made up no stories. You can do what you will with that information in deciding who you think won the case. Finally, I want to address the abandonment issue for the last time. Those kids and I have had a long history of conflicts, mutual estrangements, and resolutions. But there was a time when we were truly a successfully blended family. Shortly thereafter, the same conflict over money arose again. I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy.
In my opinion, in that video, it didn't help anything. If anything, you look like the biggest narcissist of the world. If anything, it lets me know when it comes to family and to your children, the only thing that you care about is money and how much money you have to pay to and how much money is being taken from you, so on and so forth. And then the situation with his daughter, where the daughter sued him for defamation. She sued him for defamation for allegedly stating that she had an inappropriate relationship with her cousin. And he's in this video with so much vitriol, like he's just this winner because all he had to do was pay her some money and she didn't ask for an apology. So that means that all she ever wanted was money. No, she wanted you to see her. She wanted to let you know that you just can't go around peeling off at the mouth and say whatever you want to say, especially about your own child. Who does that? But to you, you feel like you won it because she didn't get exactly what she wanted. And also because she didn't ask for an apology and you didn't have to vehemently admit to any wrongdoing. Most people know that when you settle out of court, that means that going into it, either you didn't want to deal with the outcome, you didn't want to pay all that money in court fees, or there's some guilt in that situation. It could be a little bit of all of it, but you didn't just settle out of court just because you felt like giving up some money. Let's be real about the situation. The way this man has so much disgust in his voice for his children is crazy to me. And yes, children can be spoiled, they can be entitled and all of the things, but you're the parent. They can only be spoiled if you spoiled them. They can only be entitled if you made them entitled. So if you were giving them all of these things and then all of a sudden you kind of took it away without reason, well, within reason, according to you, because they scratched up your current wife's picture, allegedly, because we don't know it to be true. But when you look at the full scope of everything, how you're so willing to replace your blood children with children that aren't even yours, and your youngest children, who is an infant, you're trying to make him the heir of your throne. He hasn't even been on earth for 5.5 seconds. You know what I mean? And you name him Brian when you already have a Brian Jr. and he has a Brian the third. It's just a mess. It is utterly and completely disgusting. Nowadays, people buy into people. So no longer are the days where you can just make your music, make your art, and people don't personally know who you are unless you don't put it out there. And then once people personally get a whiff of who you are, they're no longer buying into you. People buy into personalities now. Even if you don't have the quote unquote best talent in the world, if your personality is there, if you're good to people, if you make people feel warm and fuzzy inside, they're going to buy into that. But if they see you for as this calculating, narcissistic, mean, absentee father, they're going to be very dismissive of that. And that is going to hurt your pocket. And we know that you like your money, Mr. Brian. So I think what you should take from this is that you need to be accountable for your actions as well. I feel like he's not taking any accountability for the relationships that he has with his eldest children. And it's really, really sad. And also for his current wife, don't think that this can't happen to you. The situations may change, but the person never does until they start to take accountability. And he obviously has not. So please do not think that you are a different man, because the man is not different himself. Okay? Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have not already, please go ahead and like this video. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and make sure you press that post notification bell so you know when I post videos next. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.